Good morning students, and welcome to the third lecture on computational mathematics with Sage Math. In the last two lectures, we looked at how we can make use of Python as an advanced scientific calculator. We made use of two modules, namely math module and C math module, and using these two modules we explored basic operations such as addition, multiplication, division, finding quotient, remainder, raising power and things like that. So, we used basically variables which were floating point variable or integer variables. We also saw complex variables. We also saw that we can use round bracket and we can also use curly bracket. Curly bracket we used it for giving variable names inside print and using f string. Okay. Now, in today's lecture we will look at other important built-in data structure types such as list, tuples, dictionaries, sets, and we will also see use of other brackets such as square bracket, and curly brackets will also have different meaning. Okay. So, let us get started. So, today actually I am using Jupyter Lab. So, you can start Jupyter Lab by again opening Anaconda prompt and then type Jupyter space lab. In case you have installed this Anaconda as an administrator, as an admin, you may need to run this using admin. In case you get error while starting this using an user, then you can start as admin. Okay. So, let us start. Suppose we have variables a, b, c, d, and a is let us say 635, b is 434.7353 and c is Python in as a string, and then d is 4 plus 3j, that is imaginary number. You can find type of each of this variable by just typing a command type in the bracket a, type b, type c, type d. So, if you execute this, if you run this, it says that a is an integer variable, b is a floating point variable, c is a string and d is complex. So, these are the data types that we have already used, but apart from that Python has 4 important built-in data structures, namely list, tuples, sets and dictionaries, and in mathematics we make use of all these things quite frequently. Dictionary is something which is very handy data type, and we will see its use later. Okay. Now, let us look at how we can make use of these other brackets like square bracket. So, we will start with a list, tuple and dictionary. So, suppose we define, let us say x is equal to empty square bracket, y is equal to empty round bracket and z is equal to empty curly bracket. Now, if we ask for what are the types of these variables x, y, z, then what we get is, just one second, I have not executed this. So, what we get is x is a list, that is written inside square bracket, y is a tuple and z is a dictionary. So, these are so therefore, the list is written inside square bracket, tuple inside round bracket and dictionary inside curly bracket. Okay. Now, let us define a dictionary. So, how do we define a let us define a list. How do we define a list? So, before we define this list formally, we have already seen that we can have a string variable, or you can type a sentence inside double quote or single quote. So, suppose we store this in a variable called course, which is inside double quote computational mathematics with Sage Math. So, this can also be thought of actually as a list, but how, for example, you can find out what is the type of this variable course, and it also says it is a string variable. That is what we already have seen. Now, suppose we want to find what is the length of this string variable course. You can use a command len, and if you run this, you will get this is here is 40. So, the length of this string variable is 40. That means it has 40 characters including spaces and the full stop at the end. Now, you can also take any slice of this variable, and how do we take its slice? So, for example, if you want what is the first character in this string variable, you can say course and square bracket 0. So, that is capital C. If I want to find out what is, for example, 20th character in this, we can say course and 20. Before that, let me also say, so I have said course 0. So, here actually each character has got index and it starts from 0. Course 0 is first character. Course 1 will be the second character, which will be capital small o, and so on. So, when I say course 20, this gives me 21st character in this string variable, namely course. So, this the 20th character is a, somewhere here it will come as a 20th character, 21st character. Similarly, you can even ask for all the characters starting from 0 to 10. So, colon 0 to 10 means first 10 characters it will get. So, if I execute this, I will get COMPUTATIO. These are the first 10 characters in this variable course. You can even have negative index. So, for example, if I say course minus 1, then what you see is this is a dot, that is full stop, which was the last character in this variable course. So, minus 1 gives you the last character. If I say minus 2, for example, if I say course in the square bracket, minus 2, it will give me second last, this will give me second last, and that is H, right. Okay. You can also use other methods on this. So, for example, you can look at course and then dot and then press tab. You will see several other methods that you can apply on this variable course. I encourage you to explore each of these function by taking help on this. So, for example, if I say capitalize, or let us see, if I say course dot lower, it will convert everything in lower case. If I say course dot count and character A, it will count how many times A has appeared in this variable course. And if I want to check whether some character is there in this variable course or not, we can simply use character Z. So, you have to write inside single quote or double quote and then say in course. So, that is how you can check whether some character lies inside this course. You can also use split command, and let us see what it does. Course dot split empty round bracket, what it does, it converts this particular sentence into list of words. So, you can see here this is in square bracket, and that is how a list is defined. List is defined by writing the values, entries inside square bracket separated by comma. So, here it has the course dot split has made this as a list which has 4 words. First one is computational, second one is mathematics, third one is with, and the fourth one is Sage Math dot full stop. Okay. So, you can also convert actually this course into a list. So, this list in the bracket course will convert into a list of characters, and then you can print this and let us see what we get. So, this is a list of characters. So, if you want to count, for example, how many characters are there in this particular course variable, you can simply say length len and then list and then course. You can even add 2 string variables. So, if I say course plus course, what it is going to do? It will add the course to the existing course. So, of course, it is not giving any space in between, and that we possibly would have wanted space in between. So, we can add space in between. So, what we can do is we can say course, and in between we can say empty space as a character plus this, and now you will see it has added space in between. You can even multiply this course by 3 or 5. So, what if I say course star 3, it will repeat this course 3 times. So, you will get computational mathematics with Sage Math, computational mathematics with Sage Math, computational mathematics with Sage Math 3 times. Okay. So, if you can define any string variable, and you can think of that also as a list where you can take any slice of that string variable. Okay. Now, let us see how we can define a list. So, we have already seen when I converted this course into a list, it gave me list of character. So, and the course dot split also gave me list of words. So, we already know that list can be created by using square bracket and by giving its entries separated by comma. So, suppose we have a list, we create a list called L, which is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, that is a list. So, let us execute this, and then we can find out what is length of this list, and as I said, you can find out all the methods that you can apply on this variable L. We can ask what is type of L. So, this is a list, and we can say L dot and then press tab, then again you will see the list of methods that can be applied to L. So, for example, you can append something in the list, you can clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse. So, I again encourage all of you to go through this and try to explore each one of these. Similarly, you can again find the first entry in this list by giving the index 0, which is L square bracket 0. This is the first entry, which is 2. If I want to find out the second entry to fourth entry, second entry to fifth entry, this will be L 1 colon 5. This the second 3 is the second one, right. So, that has index 1, because as I said, the starting index of a list is 0, not 1. And this is the second entry, this is the second entry, third entry, fourth entry, and fifth entry. Okay. So, this is so when we say 1 colon 5, it generates a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and L of that gives me L of 1, L of 2, L of 3, L of 4. Okay. Similarly, you can ask for L of minus 3. We already know what it will give. It will give me third last entry in this list, which is minus 19. We can ask to append. So, if I say L dot append, and in the round bracket if I give 31, then what will let us see what it does. It will append 31 at the end. So, earlier it was stopping at 29, now we have 31 which is appended at the end. Similarly, you can say L of 2 is equal to 10. What it will do? It will replace the third entry, which is here 5, by 10. So, you can change any entry inside this list by this command. You can say L of, let us say, k, which is the k plus 1th entry, and change that value. Okay. So, if I now say what is L, you can see here the third entry has changed to 10, earlier it was 5. Okay. You can also insert an entry at any index in between. So, suppose if I want to insert 100 and I give the index 5 here, then what it will do, you can just check what is now L. Now, L is has become, the 100 has come at which place? First, second, third, fourth and fifth. At fifth index, at 6th index, because here we have put 5, this means the 6th entry has become 100. So, you can insert at the end, some value at the end, or you can insert in between. You can also find out index of a particular entry inside a list. So, for example, if I say L dot index 19, so here 19 is 8th index, which that means 9th entry. 9th entry in this list is 19. We can also remove particular entry. So, for example, we inserted 100 and suppose we want to remove, and so we can simply say L dot remove, and you will get, now if you ask what is L, then you do not see 100. You can also do various other things. So, as I said, you can explore other methods by using L dot tab. So, it also means that you do not actually need to remember all these commands. You, at any stage you can simply type dot and then press tab, all the methods will appear in drop down menu, and from that you can choose. Okay. So, now let us look at, suppose we create another list M, which is 37, 41, 43 and 53, and we can even add L and M. So, if I say L plus M, what will it do? It will append the entries of M in entries of L. So, you can see here after 31, now 37 to 53 has been appended. Okay. You can even create a list inside a list. So, for example, if I have A and which has 3 list, namely 1, 2, 3 and then 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9. So, you can create nested list or list inside list. So, this you can think of as a matrix in fact. So, we will look at how to define matrix and do various computations with matrices. Okay. So, let us define this, and now suppose we want to find out, if I want to find out what is A of 1, that means the second entry in the list, which is again a list. So, this is 4, 5, 6. If I want to find out what is A of 1 and then inside this let us say 2. So, what will it give? A of 1 is 4, 5, 6 and the 2 will be the third entry, which is 6. So, that is what we will get. So, that is how you can access any entries inside a nested list. Apart from creating a list by giving the entries in a square bracket, Python also has one inbuilt command known as range. So, if I say range 10, it will create a list starting from 0 up to 9. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. Now, see here how we can execute. So, if I see, so okay, list of range 10 has created 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9 as a list. If in case you want a list, for example, as an arithmetic progression, so 0 to 51 and increment is 5, you will get 0, then 5 and then 10 up to 50 you will get. So, that is what you can see here, it is taking time, okay, 0, 5 up to 50. So, you can create a arithmetic progression using range command, and where the increment has to be integer increment. We will later on we will see how to have non-integer increment, for example, floating point increment or decimal value. Another very important thing is, suppose you have two lists. Suppose let us say you have created a list M. Just now we created a list M, which is actually 37, 41, 43, 53, and suppose we want to store M in M1. Let us say M1 is equal to M. So, let us store that, and now suppose we change the second entry in M as 100, right, and now let us see what happens to M and M1. Of course, we know that M we have changed the second entry as 100. Now, what happens to M1? So, you can see here both M and M1, both second entry have changed to 100, but that is I do not know whether we want that. In case we did not want the entry of M1 to change, then this is not a good idea. So, actually what it does is, when you say M1 is equal to M, it is again just a renaming that variable, it will have the same address. So, any changes that you make to M will be reflected in M1 and vice versa. So, this is not a good idea. Many times we create a list, we store that list in some other list, and so that we do not lose the original one. So, in this case, this just creating M1 equal to M is not going to help, and in that case what we can do is, we can instead of just equality, we can say M dot copy. So, let us say I say M dot copy and store it in M2, and now if we change anything to M2, let us say M of let me say 2 or let us say 1 itself, M2 of 1 is equal to 500, and then let us say what is M1 and M2. Now, you can see here M is still 100, first entry of M is 100, whereas second entry of M is 100, whereas second entry of M2 has changed to 500. So, this is how you can copy a list to another list, and you can play with the second one, so that the original list, where there will not be any change in the original list. Okay. So, thank you very much. Next time we will look at how to deal with tuples and how to deal with dictionary.